Hi, I'm Ginger, and I'm reading today from the Geneva New Testament with modern spellings, and it's coming from Revelation 8. We'll start at verse number 4. And the smoke of the odors with the prayers of the saints went up before God out of the angel's hand. So when we pray, our prayers rise to God, and they are there. If they're effectual, fervent prayers, you're praying from your heart, then you can know that they rise to God and it's a fragrance to God, a good fragrance to God. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and earthquakes. Then the seven angels, which had the seven trumpets, prepared themselves to blow the trumpets. So the first angel blew the trumpet, and there was hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast into the earth, and the third part of the trees was burnt. So we're starting here with the third part of the trees being burnt. It'll go through the third part of the creatures and so forth as we go on. A third part of the trees was burnt, and all green grass was burnt. And the second angel blew the trumpet, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. So a third part of the trees is gone, and a third part of the sea life. A third part of the sea became blood red. And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. So here now, after a third part of the waters are turned to blood, then a third part of the sea creatures die. And a third part of the ships were destroyed. So the third part of the trees, a third part of the water being blood, a third blood red, a third part of the sea life gone, and a third part of ships were destroyed. Then the third angel blew the trumpet, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning like a torch. And it fell into the third part of the rivers and into the fountains of water. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. Therefore the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. And the fourth angel blew the trumpet, and the third part of the sun was smitten. So in verse 11, it says that many men die of these bitter waters because, the whole wormwood thing. Verse 12, the fourth angel blew the trumpet, and a third part of the sun was smitten. So the sun is going to be smitten, and a third part of the moon, and a third part of the stars, so that the third part of them was darkened. So a third part of the sun will be darkened, third part of the moon, and a third of the stars. Okay. And the day was smitten, that the third part of it could not shine, and likewise the night. And I beheld and heard one angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, because of the sounds to come of the trumpet of the three angels which were yet to blow the trumpets. And the fifth angel blew the trumpet, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose the smoke of the pit as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. So, if we do have to go through this great tribulation, we who love Jesus will have a seal on our forehead, and it will not be the mark of the beast, it will be the mark of God, a mark of God, the seal of God in their forehead. And to them was commanded that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months, and that their pain should be as the pain that comes of a scorpion when he has stung a man. Therefore in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall fly from them. And the form of the locust was like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns. Some people think this is like helicopters because a locust, if you blow it up, if you make it large, it looks like a helicopter. So they think that that's what that is, but I'm not sure. And the form of the locust was like unto horses, prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns, like unto gold, and their faces were like the faces of men. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And they had the sound of their wings was like the sound of chariots. You know how the helicopter spins and that's where they get that. They think that this sound that is described is the helicopter. Um, Wings was like the sound of the chariots when many horses run unto battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they have a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in Greek he is named Apollyon. So this is the forces of darkness, either these locusts or these beings or people in these helicopters, the forces of darkness coming against the saints, trying to do war against the saints. But we who have the seal of God, we do suffer a little bit. We suffer 5 months if we do go through this period of time, this tribulation time. We who love Jesus Christ, we have the seal of God on our forehead, so we are protected somewhat, but we do have that sting of that scorpion, but it's only for 5 months, and so we are not completely annihilated if we do go through this. One woe is past, and behold, yet 2 woes come after this. Then the sixth angel blew the trumpet, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared at an hour, at a day, at a month, and at a year to slay the third part of men. So 1/3 of men die from these angels' hands. And the number of the horsemen of war were 20,000 times 10,000, for I heard the number of them. And thus I saw the horses in a vision, and them that sat on them having fiery armor, and of jacinth, and of brimstone, and the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions. And out of their mouths went forth fire and smoke and brimstone. Of these 3 was the third part of men killed, that is, of the fire, and of the smoke, and of the brimstone, which came out of their mouth. So we'll stop there. So a third part of the men die. You know, we need to seek God with all our heart, mind, soul, and strength. If we go through the tribulation, we need to be clinging to God, even if we don't have to go through the tribulation. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we don't have to go through it. Maybe it's a pre-trib rapture. Maybe we're raptured out of here before the tribulation. I hope so. But if we don't, we need to be prepared. And even if we don't go through the tribulation, we need to be prepared to meet Jesus Christ, to meet him, so we live each and every minute of our life for him. We must, to be saved, we must receive him. It says in John chapter 1, verse 12, as many as received him, he gave the right to become the sons of God, even to those who believe in his name. And in Ephesians 2, for by grace are you saved through faith. It's not of yourself, it's a gift of God, lest any man should boast. So what is the biblical grace? It's found in Titus 2:11 and 12. I'll paraphrase. It says, the grace that brings salvation teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly lust, to live soberly and righteously in this present world. Thank you for listening, and God bless all who seek after God with all their heart, mind, soul, and strength.